Hello, my name is Bobby Sanders, and in this vlog I am going to discuss the role of hormones during key developmental stages, including gametogenesis, puberty, pregnancy, and the menopause. Gametogenesis is a process of gamete formation in both males and females, and is where the cell must go through meiotic division in order to become a haploid gamete. Gonads produce gametes. These are known as the egg and the sperm. They also produce steroid hormones, which are essential for both reproduction and the growth and development of the entire body. The gonads are connected to the genitalia, penis in males, and vulva and clitoris in females, by ducts and accessory glands. They are also the final preparation for gametes for fertilization, as well as creating the environment where fertilization will occur, resulting in an embryo and hopefully a birth. Gametogenesis takes place in the gonads and has several steps. First is multiple meiotic division and cell growth of the germ cells. This is then followed by two meiotic divisions known as meiosis I and meiosis II, in order to produce two haploid daughter cells. Finally, differentiation of the haploid daughter cells occurs in order to produce functional gametes. In males, this is known as spermatogenesis and produced sperm. Spermatogenesis is a production of sperm in the seminiferous tubules of the testes. The process begins at puberty when the germinal epithelium of the seminiferous tubules is divided by mitosis. The cells then go through a period of cell growth. These then become spermatocytes. The spermatocytes then go through two meiotic divisions to form haploid daughter cells. After this process, the spermatocytes undergo a process of differentiation to then become a functional sperm. In females, it is known as oogenesis and produce ova, otherwise known as eggs. Oogenesis describes the production of female gametes known as ova in the ovaries. A large number of primordial cells are formed by mitosis during fetal development. Until these cells are large enough to undergo meiosis, they undergo cell growth and are known as primary oocytes. The primary oocytes then begin meiosis, but are arrested in prophase I, where granular cells surround them to form follicle. The primary oocytes will stay in the phase until puberty occurs, when a female begins her menstrual cycle. Other than gametogenesis, the other major function of the gonads is to produce sex steroid hormones such as testosterone, estrogen, and proestrogen. A group of neurons located in the hypothalamus work as a control system for the hormones in the reproductive system. Gonadotrophin-releasing hormones, also known as GnRH, is released every 3 hours from these neurons. GnRH travels around the body via the blood circulation. It is a small peptide that travels to affected cells in the nearby anterior pituitary. When and how much GnRH are released is determined by the brain in response to external and internal stimuli. GnRH regulates two peptides from the anterior pituitary. These are follicle-stimulating hormones, also known as FSH. These are hormones that act on gametes, producing cells to regulate gametogenesis. The other hormone produced is known as the luteinizing hormone, which is LH. This hormone acts on endocrine or hormone-producing cells in order to stimulate the release of a sex steroid hormone. Both of these hormones have trophic effects on the gonads. This means that they stimulate or encourage growth. These hormones are collectively known as gonadotrophins. During puberty, GnRH is released from a section found just under the brain. This is known as the hypothalamus. This then stimulates the pituitary gland. These hormones are follicle-stimulating hormones, also known as FSH, and luteinizing hormones, also known as LH. These hormones then travel through the blood circulation in order to reach the testes or the ovaries. This then starts the developmental phase, which will lead to sexual maturity. As this process continues, a female will start to release estrogen and proestrogen. However, males will start to release testosterone. Once these have started to be released by the body, it undergoes a massive changes. These changes include the menstrual cycle, pubic hair, breast growth and spots for females, and erections, pubic hair, voice change and spots for males. During the first stages of pregnancy, the egg has been released with the help of estrogen and proestrogen and implanted into the lining of the uterus. Higher levels of other hormones will help to create an increase in blood supply. HCG levels increase massively during pregnancy. They let the female's body know that another life is growing inside of them and lets the ovaries know to shut down the release of eggs. The levels of HCG rise 8 days after ovulation and peak between 60 and 90 days. These levels then continue to decrease, levelling off for the remainder of the pregnancy. However, these levels do double every 2 days for the first 10 weeks of pregnancy. Proestrogen and another hormone known as relaxin allows the uterus to relax in order to make room for the fetus to grow. Proestrogen is released by a cyst on the ovary known as the corpus luteum. The corpus luteum produces proestrogen up until 10 weeks when the placenta takes over. Proestrogen keeps the uterus muscle relaxed and plays a role in the immune system, helping the body to tolerate the foreign DNA, also known as the fetus. These changes may, however, affect other parts of the body, causing things such as backache and pelvic floor pain. The relaxation of the muscles in the digestive system may contribute to the sickness, nausea, and constipation during pregnancy. During pregnancy, the changes in hormones can affect women's moods, meaning 1 minute they can feel low and other times they can feel completely fine. These symptoms tend to wear off after the first 3 months of pregnancy. The softening of the tissue caused by the relaxin hormone means that the ligaments in the pelvic floor are more elasticated. This will help to deal with childbirth. During the second trimester of pregnancy, women's energy levels resume and the sickness calms down or stops. Others often begin to notice a glow or shiny hair. This is known as the blooming stage. Estrogen is released by the corpus luteum until the placenta takes over. It plays a key role in the development of a fetus and helps with the development of several organs and other bodily systems by triggering them. Once the end of the first trimester occurs, the very high levels of estrogen decrease. Estrogen stimulates hormone production in the fetus adrenal gland. It stimulates the growth of the adrenal gland. It also enhances the mother's uterus, enabling it to respond to oxytocin. Oxytocin is a hormone that stretches the cervix and stimulates the nipples to produce milk. Prolaxin is a hormone that produces milk. It increases 10 to 20 times during pregnancy and prepares the breast tissue for lactation and the release of milk. Relaxin is a hormone that loosens up the ligaments that hold the pelvic bones together. It relaxes the uterine muscles in preparation for delivering the baby through the birth canal. Women usually have 10 times around the amount of hormone in their body during pregnancy than they would normally. During the menopause, there are 3 main hormones that are involved. These are estrogen, proestrogen, and testosterone. Estrogen. During premenopause, estrogen levels fluctuate and become very unpredictable. Eventually, these decrease and become very low. These can then cause night sweats, hot flushes, palpitations, headaches, insomnia, fatigue, and vaginal dryness. Proestrogen production stops during the menstrual cycle, where there is ovulation, and after the final period. The lack of proestrogen can cause heavier, irregular, and longer periods during the premenopausal phase. Testosterone levels peak in women in their 20s and decline slowly therefore after. By the time the menopause occurs, these levels have halved their peak. After estrogen stops in the ovaries, they still produce testosterone. Testosterone levels from the adrenal glands decline with aging but continue after the menopause. During these key development stages, a lot of hormones go through the body and produce different outcomes. This leads to different reactions of the body in both men and women.